Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos, and today it's pretty wet. It's been raining all day. It'll rain on me while I'm out here, I'm sure of it. But I'm in Pisgah National Forest, and I decided to do a little Parks on the Air activation, despite the rain. I try not to let the weather stop me from going out and doing what I want to do, and this is one of those days. So I'm hoping that I can just hop out here and play a little radio. Not sure which side of the park to go to, but I'm going to go to a place I haven't been. I haven't been over in this area before, so we'll maybe give it a go. See what it's like. I'll have to remember to wipe off the camera lens a bunch. I thought if I could get under just a few of these evergreens over here, maybe it'll keep some of the rain off of me when the rain starts back up. It's just sprinkling right now, which isn't too bad. It's chilly. It's probably, I'm guessing, about 48 degrees Fahrenheit or something. But it feels a little chillier because it's raining, of course. I just had a little lunch in the car. And, yeah, now that park bench is way out in the open over here. Let me see if one of these picnic tables may work a little better. There's a lot of trash here. I'll try to pick up some of this. I've got some nitrile gloves in my pack. This is a really pretty spot. It's also pretty wet. I don't know how much of a difference this is going to make. There's a decent amount of canopy up there. Maybe right here. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I think it's just as wet as the other sites, but I like the trees here. Got a wire antenna with me today. My, let me think. It's a Pactenna. I think a 20-meter end-fed half-wave. I'm going to be using the TX500 today because it's not going to be bothered by any of this rain. Now my key and my my butt, they're probably going to get wet. I also have it right in the rain pad. Hypothetically, I should be able to do okay with this. Now I feel the rain picking up right now. But what we'll do is go ahead and throw up this antenna. I'll do the deployment. Ooh, maybe I should go out this way. Looking at it right now, this actually isn't too bad. The trick is getting to a spot where I can snag one of these branches really well and be out of the way. Actually, maybe this tree would be good. Yeah, that one wouldn't be too bad. I may try to go for that. A 20-meter end-fed half-wave is not a very big antenna. This will mean I'm kind of limited to 20 meters, but we've had all this like flaring lately and stuff that I'm having to assume that 20 meters will be healthier. Okay, let me look at the other side of this. This may work, actually. Now I'm looking at it. These aren't very big branches, but I don't need heavy, sturdy branches for what I'm doing. Yeah, I think I can make this work. I think that's what I'm going to do. So let's go for it. Man, why didn't I bring my... Actually, I do have my coffee kit in the car, but I'm not going to make it today. I don't want to do anything that's going to prolong my being out here right now. If I was under the shelter, that'd be a different story. Okay, let's see if you'll be able to see some of this, hopefully. And hopefully, my throw weight won't come over here and knock down the camera. So what I'm going to do is empty everything out, grab my throw line, and come right back. If I can snag a tree branch. So actually, I snagged a much higher branch than I needed to, as is often the case with throw lines. You got physics working on your side, so sometimes even with just very little effort, you can easily hit your objective and even overdo it. So let's grab the antenna. So my pack antenna, like I said, it's just a 20 meter end-fed half wave. So this will take me on 20, 15, and 10 meters. I don't know that any of those really high bands are going to work very well. Oh, and if you ask, this is a Tellison case. Joshua, my buddy Joshua, N5FY, recommended this case for me, and I'm very pleased with it. It works really well with the TX500, and I'm sure it worked well with other packs. This is not one of my American-made, super high-quality things. This is available on Amazon, and I didn't pay much for it. I can't remember how much, but I'll have a link to it in my field report on qrpr.com, so always check for that in the description below here on YouTube, and should have that. Let's go ahead and undo this and get this little guy in the air. You know what? It's chilly. I'm kind of wishing I would have brought my gloves with me now. I'm in the process of changing out EDC packs. And so half of my gear is in another bag, and it's a little frustrating because of that. Okay, let's set this up. Hopefully you're still able to see everything okay. Now with my Pactena, I'm kind of abusive to it. Sorry, George, if you're listening. But basically, I just pull the thing up and let it unravel. When I don't have a counterpoise on my antenna, I'll just let it ravel out as I pull it up. I find it works fine. I'm not too worried about it. Grab this end, pull on it. You can't see it, but it's done now. That's it. That is it. Now, I'll probably put the weight on just to hold it up at that height. So I'm going to put this on the other end over there just to hold it up. That's perfect. Oh, and by the way, you see my shirt? Big shout out to my buddy Paul, who is the station manager at KSKO in McGrath, Alaska, where it is very cold right now and very dark, I'm sure. But Paul is a great broadcaster and radio host up there, and a great friend. I've been friends with him for ages because he's really into shortwave radio listening and does lots of shortwave radio DXing. So he works in the field he loves. Here we go. And we're just going to set up on this side of the table, I think. Now I'm careful to try, when I'm doing this wet stuff. Now, some of you may not feel comfortable taking your gear out when it's raining like this, and I don't blame you. I could have, at one of these sites, set up my little rain fly that I have, but I kind of feel like I can protect the radio enough here. I'm protecting me and making sure I'm not getting too wet. And I may make a fool of myself though, because if the rain really kicks in, then, you know, I may have to deal with it. But what I'll do is just set up here, set the radio up, try to protect the paddle. I try to protect the end of the cable here so that that doesn't get wet easily. And it's actually good that the antenna is right up here against the tree, because that's kind of maximum protection from the rain here. Like, that's the most protected area, because eventually, if this got just sopping wet, it's possible that, you know, it could change the dynamics of this transformer. I think it'd have to be pretty darn wet for that to happen, actually. Especially up here close to this tree, I don't think it's going to be a problem. And I'm not too worried about this getting wet down here, but you got to pay attention to those things. It's one of those things, if you're not comfortable taking your radio out, and I don't know that I would take some of my radios out for this, The TX500 is weatherproof. I don't worry about it getting wet at all. Of course, the speaker mic is not. The speaker is not weatherproof. So you have to watch out for some of those things while you're operating. But let's see here. Let me get this set up. I'm trying to make myself a dry spot to sit down with this little plastic bag I have in my pocket. Hopefully I can make that work. This may be a bad idea, I don't know. I suspect I'm going to get more rain, so I just got like this drugstore plastic bag I'm going to sit on. Normally, I'd be able to use my knee board, which I do have, but I don't have my little hiking chair with me today. Here we go. Okay, I'm sat down and still getting pretty wet. Oh well, it won't kill me. I know people like in the Pacific Northwest are looking here saying, oh, what's new here, you know? Okay, Thomas, you need to get your glasses on too. Okay, let's see. My glasses on. I am not going to log on my phone this time. I've just decided I'm not doing that. I'm just going to use my Right in the Rain pad and be done with it. Okay, let's see. What? Oh, I got most of my stuff in here. What am I thinking? So I'm going to keep the battery from getting wet. So I'll put it inside this thing. That'll keep it dry enough. I got it fused. If anything goes terribly wrong, it won't. I'm just using a 3 amp hour Bioenno battery. Should have enough charge in it. For this activation, I will also need my microphone. So I'm going to put the battery in here to keep it from getting wet. You know what, I'll put it in the bottom. There we go. I've also got my key in here. I'll grab that out. And one of my legs here I see fell into the crack in the table. There we go. Spot between the boards here. It's actually a really nice day to be out. Other than it being cold and rainy and miserable. Hey, it's a great time to play radio. So I'm gonna put this speaker in here like this, and that should be audible enough I can hear it, but protected enough that it's not just like right out in the rain. It'll probably get a little wet, but not too bad. The key's the thing that I can't protect a whole lot, and I'm just hoping that, you know, this TP3 is kind of protected on the top. What I don't want is water to get on the contacts, because that's going to make it difficult to really play radio here. And I probably need to find a spot where I can set this key where it'll be relatively dry. Let's see if I got something here I can use. Don't really. I may hold it in my hand as I'm operating though. Okay. This is what Right in the Rain pads were made for, to be honest. You just grab something out of here. Let's see. To keep it a little on the dry side, just on the back side of it, I am going to use my knee board here as a just like a little makeshift table. That'll work pretty nicely. I mean, it's not going to be dry, but it's not going to be sitting in water like this table is, as you can see. You know, it'll be a little bit better than that. So. Oh, I had it in single sideband last time I used this. I forgot about that. Yes, I do single sideband from time to time. I say that, but I think it was the first time I'd done single sideband in I don't know how long. Okay. Let's get this going. Okay, 4510, Pisgah National Forest. This is actually also the game land here, so it's a twofer. I think it's 6937. I can't remember what it is, but I won't worry about that. Right now I'm just logging it as 4510, and then it'll just be a nice surprise to anyone who's hunting me today that they'll actually have another park. Okay, so we're the 1st of December, 2023, and look at the water beating up on there. And this is going to be the TX500 and Pactena 20 meter and fed. There we go. 20 meters CW. Now I just need to be able to see my watch for timing. So it's 12:20, so I just add 5 to that. And let's see, what else do I need here? Let me go up to, and I did spot myself in advance. Yeah, good. I got a good SWR reading. Whoops, sorry. Let me take a photo before I forget. Honestly, I was actually texting Joshua in 5FY before I came out here, and I was like, I don't know that I'm going to do a video with this. I think I'm just going to go out and do it because it'll be a pain to take the video out, but here we are anyway. And since I'm doing that, I'm going to document this. I don't always do all of my videos, you know, I don't make videos of all of my activations. Sometimes I don't worry about it, and I just... Okay, this sounds clear here. Okay, so let's go over to... Well, hey, dog. Hey there. Whoops, sorry. Where's your owner? There he is. I just need to at least get 10. Okay. It's going back on again. It's doing this. Let me check my phone and see if... I have to keep watching my email. I'm expecting an Amazon delivery, and they're requiring a 6-digit code for it. I just heard an A. Okay. It is so easy to log when I'm not logging in 2 places. Base station. I have to make sure my writing is very legible. Okay, I'm probably... Okay. Okay, they think I'm calling their W out. Okay, I'm not hearing any response from this. Oh, it's Bob. He was hearing the W I was calling and assuming that was me or for him. I'll get that VE2 next. Okay, here we go. Wow. Holy cow. See, I was able to hear him because he's off frequency a little bit. Didn't his call sign kind of pop out? Holy cow. Okay, wait. Okay, a GSL. Okay, well. Did I send an L instead of an F? It doesn't really matter. Good signal. This is crazy. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, gotcha. If I call for an N, there's going to be a bunch. Can't believe it. I only had one N callback and all that. I thought there'd be like 3 or 4. Great signal. Okay, wait, I think I got KD too. See how they punch straight through? You're just crazy if you zero beat people, because a pileup like this, it makes it so much easier to get around it. Great signal. Okay. I gotta keep these contacts from getting wet. I think there's a little water getting in there. I need to hold them down. I'll get you KO next. I need to hold the key down like this, I think. Okay, I actually had that right in my head. Ah, this thing's keying. Okay, wait. WT3C. Okay. Everybody's having keying issues like me. 2 UVs. What are the chances? I think. Okay. This is my key. I want to make sure I get that right in my log, so I rewrite it. Oops. Oh, nice QRP. That's it, who it was. A J and a 1 sound a lot alike. So I can see why he came back. Okay. V. Let's get that V in there. Good to get your logs. It's getting chilly. Okay, wait. Oh, maybe that's what I was hearing. Oh. I'm not sure if they were in. There we go. That's who I was hearing. I heard a Q in there. It's funny, you'll hear like one letter. two ends. Ah, sorry. I think I heard a V in there. Did I not hear a V? That's what I heard. Gotcha. Is that a KK? There we go. Taking some photos here while I can. I'll ask them to call back. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, there we go. Okay, wait. Okay, there we go. Okay, did I get that right? There we go, it's an I. I'm gonna write it again just to make sure I get it correct in my logs later. There we go, South Dakota. Okay, sorry, he can't hear me. I heard a V in there earlier. I'm tempted to call QRT here. That's the reason I'm repeating this. Okay, good. I'm gonna call QRT. Okay. I'm going to turn the volume down so I can't hear anybody. Whew. That was a run. That was something else. That was really fun, actually. So the deal is, we learned that rain doesn't really bother the TX500, of course. I knew that. I've taken it out in weather like this before. The right in the rain pad I've also had out in the rain for ham radio stuff and for just other things I've done in the past. I've used right in the weather stuff, and it works really well. As you probably saw, I don't know if you can see this in the video or not, it is awfully close. But like water just kind of beads up on it. And I try to flick it out of the way. It may make the paper, like you can see here on the edges, a little bit wet here, but it'll dry out. It's not a problem at all. The good thing is it's super legible. This is the difference between using right in the rain and using a regular, just any kind of pad. You can see how the water just kind of beads up on there, and that doesn't happen on regular paper. It just soaks straight in. So you can like tap this off and get most of the water off, and then even if it does soak in a little bit, it's not going to mess up your writing, it's not going to mess up anything else, and it dries out really nicely. So I have no clue how many contacts I made here. You know what I want to do though? I want to take some photos of my logs before I forget. As I always say, you can see the sausage made in my videos. There are no gag reels in my videos because I do everything. Everything's included. I don't add anything out. So everything is what it is. There we go. Got a nice extra copy now of everything. And I want to take a picture of this so I can remember the key I've got, the radio I've got. Show a little bit of the water on the radio. It is really, I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me see if I can move this. One thing I need to check really quickly while I'm thinking about it. I need to check to see if I've gotten a notification. Nope, haven't gotten a notification yet from my wife, so I'm good. I'm good. Oh, yeah, let me take a couple extra photos before I forget, before I start packing up and just forget all of this. It's actually really nice. Conditions today. I wasn't expecting the band conditions to be this good. I bet you that 40 meters was a little rougher, and that's the reason why I didn't think it'd be a bad idea just to use this 20 meter end-fed half wave. If you look here on the radio, I've got it on, you can see that it's got water kind of all over it, and it's okay. I just kind of dry it off and I'm good. It doesn't really mess up anything. But when you're working with water and radios and batteries, you do have to be a little careful. You want to keep your battery dry, so what we're going to do is turn this off now. I'm going to get in here where this has stayed really nice and dry, unplug the battery, put the battery back in my pack. All of my packs are completely waterproof. Well, not completely waterproof, but they are water resistant. And I'm not going to stick this back in this pack, right? This stuff needs to dry out now. That's the negative, and I knew that in advance of taking this out, is that it's going to get wet, and I can't just put it away in there and let it sit in there with all that moisture. I don't want that to happen. So what I'll do is pack it in my pack, and then when I get to the car, I simply set it out in the back of the car and let it dry out, and then we're good. We are good. And I don't think it really got wet in there otherwise. No, it didn't. It stayed dry. So I'll put this stuff in after I dry all this off later. And the radio, I don't worry about this a bit. This thing, man, I throw this radio all around. There we go. Okay, let's put this up. I'm going to put it in a ruck plate right here. There we go. Inside my Go Ruck pack, there's like a place in here that they have for ruck plates. I don't use a ruck plate. I use it to put my, actually this kneeboard in most of the time. And I stick the TX500 in there. It fits in there fine. It's thin. It fits in there. Okay, so I'm going to take the paddle out and do the same thing. So I'm not going to pack this up normally. I want to pack it up because when I get it back, I want it to dry out a little bit. I'll put it in this mesh pocket here to keep it together. I'm not worried about that being hurt. And this will be the same way. I'm going to put it out to dry in the back of the car. I've got the heater on in the car because I'll need the heater on. It's getting chillier. I thought it was at the high today, but it must not be. Well, that, and I think things feel colder when your hands are wet. It makes a difference. This would have been, even with the right and the rain stuff, this would have been much messier had I just put it directly on top of the water. So I don't really do that. Even though I used this little plastic bag. You can see here I was sitting on that bag. Yeah, still got wet. But not as wet as I would have. This was a fun activation. So some of the really cool stuff from this activation. First of all, I've had people comment before when sorry, I'm just like trying to keep my hands a little warm. I've had people comment before when you're copying a call and you ask for something back, like you ask for B, or like, let's just say it's like a BF. You ask for it back and somebody comes back with a completely different call sign. It's a really good chance that the person on the other end, they're not just trying to cut in on top of somebody else. They just aren't hearing it very well, or they're hearing their numbers backwards or their letters backwards or something like that. And I'm always really forgiving of that. This isn't a contest situation, so you don't get a lot of people intentionally trying to do that to be heard. If you are thinking that that's a really good tactic to get through and you're deliberately doing something like that, I have to tell you that most operators don't like that. So they'll kind of like, I tune out everything other than what I'm listening for. In almost every case, I completely tune it out. So I'll have people call me and I think they don't hear the other stations, and I don't answer them even though they're super strong, and I don't even pay attention to their call sign letters because I'm trying to gather just like the partial that I have and I'm trying to work on at the time. And that's just how I kind of work. I don't just take the strongest station all the time. When somebody comes back to me, let's see, I'm tempted to put my reading glasses up. Put this table first. It's also kind of wet, but only on the jacket, so tell you what, wearing stuff I wear, I'm never going to be a fashion model. There we go. Let's get this out now. And for this Pactena, I simply use it like this. I wind it up on one side. This also I'll let sit out just in case water got in there, but it looks bone dry in there. Being up so close to the tree trunk on an evergreen tree, I wasn't too worried about this getting wet. It's one of the reasons why I shot it toward the center of the tree. I didn't want it to be on the outer side of a branch. It probably still would have been fine, but I just think it's a better policy to keep it a little closer in when you try to keep the antenna from getting wet in a situation like this. I really need to make a little counterpoise for some of my antenna end-fed half waves sometime. I have one for my end-fed random wire antenna. Here we go. And now, where did I put the Velcro? I remember where I put it. I put it in this little, I put it in my pack here. There we go. I'll just leave this sitting open. Let's go put up this. Around here. Okay. What I'm looking for, actually, the reason why I've been having to check my email from time to time, even during the activation, is because I'm expecting a delivery of a new camera. I have upgraded to the Osmo 3. I got it during a Black Friday sale. And Amazon has a one-time passcode that they now require on some of their higher dollar items. And I get the reason why. They want to make sure when they deliver it to somebody's front porch that it's going to who it's supposed to go to. And they make sure that it can only be delivered when someone has the passcode. So they're not just going to drop it on your front porch and someone can come and steal it or something. Well, I live out in the middle of nowhere, so I don't really have a front porch that people come to anyway. And I have all of my packages delivered to the U.S. Postal Service. They accept all my parcels. And Amazon's insistent on this code for this order. And, you know, I can't very well ask the Postal Service to everybody at our post office to remember my code and then give it to the Amazon people when they deliver it. So I was on the phone with Amazon for probably an hour last night. They just couldn't figure out a way around this. And finally, we had the address switched to my home address because my wife's there and she can take it in. The problem is, can the Amazon van get up our driveway? Because it's raining today, actually, they may be able to do it. Had it not rained, I don't think they could have done it. I think they would have slid and they wouldn't have been able to make it up our driveway because it's kind of soft gravel. You almost need, you can't have a front heavy vehicle go up our driveway very easily. My big diesel truck, I have to have it in four-wheel drive to make it up our driveway. You're probably thinking, Thomas, why'd you leave your bag wide open like this? Well, because it didn't really matter. It's all going to go in the car, and I'm going to set it all out to breathe when I get in there. So this is very temporary. But I need to pack it to get it to the car. There we go. I'll put this in here. So I'm getting ready this Sunday, which will have already passed by now. I'll be doing the ham radio workbench on the air. Herwoboda, I think that's what Mark's calling it. Probably can't pronounce it correctly. And I'll be on the air for quite a while doing that. And I'm not going to be able to participate the entire time, unfortunately. My daughter has a class she's going to that day, actually a meeting, really. And I need to be there to take her, so I'm going to miss a little piece of that. But it'll be nice to do something a little different. I'm going to actually play the Herwoboda thing from a park. I'm going to come down here and see the river coming through. It's like a small river here. It's really pretty. There have been some people out fishing. Those are the only people out here right now, really, are fishermen. I'll take a picture. It's actually a really nice site for playing radio, and I've been coming here more often because I'm on this side of town, and I'm very pleased with it. It's just a really nice site. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye here, because you know what? I'm going to pack this camera up and take it inside too. Thanks for coming along. I hope you didn't get as wet as I did. I'm actually pretty good. Like this worked out okay underneath this tree. It wasn't as wet as it could have been. It's nice to come out and play radio if you have a radio like the TX500. And if I didn't have the TX500, to be really clear, what I could have done, and if I wasn't filming a video, right? Filming a video, I mean, if you talk to anybody who does YouTube videos, there's a lot that goes on and just planning out how you're going to set everything up, right? And there's some limitations when you do that. One of them is you really want the radio to show up, your logbook to show up, and all that stuff. If I wasn't doing a video, and I had, say, my KX2 or my KX1 that's in here, and those are not waterproof, I would set the whole thing in the bag. I would have the key come out. I would have my earbuds come out, and they would go in my ears. I wouldn't even pay attention to the display on the radio because I'd be listening to it through my earbuds. And all I need is my key and my earbuds, and it would and I'd lock the encoder so it wouldn't move in there. I'd seal it completely up in here and then just have something I'm logging on, and that would be it. So you just have a cable coming out for the antenna, and that's it. So this stuff would never even get exposed to the water. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it, and I'm going to show this in another video sometime. I'm actually I'm actually a user of like tarps when you just need like a quick rain fly over something. I haven't used it in a lot of videos, I don't think, but I use it a lot just in camping and doing other stuff. And I keep a little tarp with my gear, and it would be easy to set up in a spot like this. Probably if I was using the tarp though, I would not have set up at this table. I would have found one where the trees are a little bit better positioned for this. Or I would have just set up right here. I would have put the tarp up over here and then used my little trail chair and set it down right here, and I'd have been perfectly dry the whole time, so it wouldn't really matter what kind of radio I used. So you can always protect your radio from the rain, either with a tarp, a rain fly, or inside your pack if your pack is weatherproof, or throw something over the top of it. One time I had a surprise storm come up on me, like a really hard rain shower in the middle of the summer when I was up at Craggy Gardens, and I just took my entire rain jacket and put it over the top of my radio and everything. So it was really nicely protected, even though half of me was not. And I just dealt with the rain getting on me. Otherwise, use a radio like the TX500 that's weatherproof. I think the most people who buy that radio, they do it for that very reason. One other thing I wanted to note about today that was really interesting. I work 2 states I don't work quite as often. One of them was Delaware. Delaware is a tough state from right here. I work a lot of Maryland, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, all those areas. Even DC I'll get more often than I get Delaware. I really appreciate the Delaware station coming back. Also South Dakota, which is kind of interesting because 20 meters was both short. It wasn't very long today. It was kind of short and mid-range there, but not very long path. I didn't hear N7CCD, and he is always out there if he can hear me, if he's at home. So I didn't hear any stations from the West Coast on 20 meters, so it must be a little on the short side today, but worked really well. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you very much to my Patreon and Coffee Fund supporters. You guys are amazing. You make all this possible for me to produce these videos and host them and do all these other things I do, and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you so much. And as I always say, all we got on this planet's each other, so take care of one another out there, and until next time, 7 twos.